I mean, first of all, just to say, I think anybody who deals with this, as has already been said by Samantha, I'm sure that's true of Peter, or anybody who's experienced it, it's just heartbreaking. It's spirit crushing what is happening. My experience of it, apart from having spent a period of my life couch surfing, which was absolutely desperate, but more recently is just having to have an office operating in Dunleary since I became a TD, or before that even as a councillor, where people trail in every single day, and 80 to 90% of those cases are people in dire housing situations, and it is just heartbreaking. And it is so frustrating, because I then go into the Dáil where I see Simon Coveney, before him Alan Kelly, before him Jan O'Sullivan, before her Willie Penrose. In the 5 years I've been in the Dáil, week in, week out, making promises, publishing documents, making announcements, saying they've got a plan, it's all going to get better, there's a programme to resolve this, and it just gets worse. Steadily, daily, consistently worse in terms of the statistics, but much more importantly in terms of the human reality that we're all dealing with. And it's just shocking, just to reinforce what Peter is saying about the lies, really is another word to describe it, about the quality and availability of homeless accommodation. I'm dealing with a case at the moment where somebody who had kicked a heroin habit 5 or 6 years ago has weaned themselves down to a very, very low level of methadone and has basically come out the other side in a desperate situation, because that person has just broken up with their partner, is now homeless. And in fact, I was on the phone to Peter about this, because in our area there is no family-based homeless accommodation at all, so people are sent into the city centre. And you go down to the homeless services and you say, we have a guy here who needs emergency accommodation. Is there any way at all we can put this person somewhere where they won't have to go in with active drug users? Because if they do, all that's lost. All of that is lost. And they just say, sorry, no. I mean, Peter mentioned a couple of places, and there are a few places that are half decent, but they're massively oversubscribed. You have to jump through hoops to get to them. But he was what he was told today by the housing department is, well, no, you're going to have to go into the hostel where all these drug users are, which, as people have said, will literally make you sick. And if you stay there for a while, maybe you can progress on to the slightly better places. But of course, the very strong likelihood is, unless you're a very, very strong person, that you will be broken by that experience. And you will be right back to square one, or worse, where you were when you had a heroin problem in the first place. And that is what is going on a daily basis with families, with all sorts of people who are vulnerable. And really what I want to say about all of that, I mean just the housing list, it's beyond belief. In my area, the list is now up to 5,000 families. That is double what it was when I first became a Dáil representative. Last year, Dunleary Down County Council delivered in total about 57 new social housing units, not local authority houses. This is a very important slippage between what most people understand by social housing, which is council housing, but they mean something else. with social housing, which is outsourced, leased to private landlords, approved housing bodies, or HAPs or RAS, or whatever the hell you want to, various ways of not providing local authority housing. But 57, whereas there were 100 new people joining the list every month last year, right? So you can do the maths on that. The problem in a year is about 10 times worse than it was before the start of the year with the Brave New World programme of Simon Coveney to resolve this problem. And that is going to be the situation. And really, you know, the sort of, both the problem and the solution to it are summed up in what I would like to describe in my experience of the tale of two Apollos over Christmas. On the one hand, the bright spark, you have the fantastic resistance of the Apollo House, the Irish Housing Network, and all those involved taking over an NAMA building and providing accommodation for people, and pointing to the huge resources and assets that the state has at its disposal to resolve that crisis. There's another Apollo story, happened at exactly the same time, which is the other side of the equation, which I'm dealing with again in Dún Laoghaire, where a crowd called Apollo Global Investment, who are an 18 billion euro, based in the United States, vulture fund, bought an apartment block in Dún Laoghaire, and on the 23rd of December, just about around the same time Apollo House started, bought this apartment block and sent, the date is important because that was the date that Simon Coveney signed into legislation the rent certainty proposals that would limit rent increases to 4%, which, as Peter said, means 12% rent increase over the next 3 years for people. But even that miserable measure was got around by our friends Apollo Global Investment, who on the 23rd, the day Michael D. Higgins was signing it into law, sent every single tenant in the apartment block rent increases of up to 175%. 175%, courtesy of PwC receivers who were acting on behalf of the Vulture Fund. And when I went to meet them last week and suggested, could they possibly even limit it to the 4% set out by the minister? They just laughed, absolutely laughed. I said, is there any possibility you might do a deal with the housing assistance payment scheme with the local authority, where they could pay you the rent, and these people could be some social tenants? He didn't know what it was, but he laughed at the prospect. And why wouldn't he? Because he made it very clear, he wouldn't answer direct questions, but he made it very clear that it was likely that Apollo Global Investment would be flipping that property within 7 or 8 months. In fact, the whole purpose of the rent increase was if they get that rent increase in, the value of that property jumps by several million euro immediately. Literally overnight. The value of that property goes up by millions of euros. Now that is the story of the housing crisis. Not an accident, it is the result of a conscious policy at the centre of which is NAMA. I mean, these are NAMA's reports, very fancy documents, but they are shocking. NAMA has disposed of 27 billion worth of property assets since it was set up a number of years ago. It has generated 32 billion worth of it has sold off 12,000 residential properties and has delivered only 2,000 social housing units. And even those, the local authorities have paid through the nose for now. They are planning to build 20,000 properties.
I'm actually in one of them properties.
Yeah.
And I was told by the developer who didn't realise what he was saying between his four walls. And he basically told me about, you're aware of this, Peter, around there? A few years ago, 5-6 years ago, Dublin City Council bought about 260 properties in the Ballymun of NAMA. The developer told me, and he actually enjoyed telling me this, that the council paid 20,000 extra to the banks that they didn't need.
Yeah.
Now I don't know if that was just on my property or on all the rest of them, all the houses in the building.
Yeah. That's what's happening. That's what's happening.
Nobody's investigating that. Why is anybody taking on from City Council?
Because it is government policy. That's why. It's government policy. And this is what we need to get through to ourselves. The government made a conscious decision at the time of the collapse, which resulted from property speculation, that they were going to try and drive up the value of property, which had collapsed after 2008. And all their developer friends had been hit with massive losses, and the banks that had financed them. So they said, we need to put these people back in business, we need to refloat the property industry. And the best way to do that is to have a shortage. If you've got a shortage, then rents go up, property values go up, NAMA makes a profit, the banks have their balance sheets restored. That's what was going on. And then eventually, the people who we bailed out will actually get back control of the properties that went bankrupt. Another case I'm dealing with at the moment is dealing with, I don't know if you've probably heard of Johnny Ronan and Treasury Holdings, who owe €2.7 billion in debts to NAMA. They have, as I have information at least, I have to get this confirmed, he has just bought back the Spencer Dock development down on the docks, where there are going to be hundreds of private apartments, for approximately €43 million, financed by some big global investment fund, but the market value of that site is about €120 million. Okay? And this is a guy who helped bankrupt the country. And he's got off us a massive development site. Do you think anybody would be renting those apartments who's on the housing list or would be able to afford to? Or do you think they're likely to sign up to HAP schemes or whatever? Right? That is what is going on. So, I mean, just to conclude, there's so much more to say, but I think that is the essence of what has happened. It's not an accident, it's not an oversight, it's a policy. And it is linked to the fact that the Irish rich have essentially a huge part of the way they've become rich is on property. It has always been about property, and even more so in recent years. If you really want to join dots in sort of the extent of all this, the name Cerebus is quite a useful one to keep in mind. Cerebus being investigated for the Project Eagle scandal of fixers' fees, bribes in other words, assets sold below value to vulture funds in the north, bought up billions worth of assets down here. Cerebus paid, figures, made €77 million profits last year and paid 1,900 in tax. 77 million, and you'll be very glad to know that CEO of Cerebus is Stephen Feinberg, who is the economic advisor of Donald Trump. It just gets better, doesn't it? Now, main economic advisor of Donald Trump, who is himself a financial property speculator. So what do we need to do? There was, back in the 70s, there was a report which made a very simple proposal that the state had to own all building and development land. In the 40s and 50s, even when we were a third world country and had virtually no money, 40 to 50% of all residential property was built in the state, and we had no money, was local authority housing. That is what needs to be done. It can be done, but they don't want to do it because you wouldn't make profits for Johnny Rowan, Stephen Feinberg, or all of these people if you did it that way. The assets are there in the cash reserves of NAMA. The assets are there in the land holdings of NAMA and of the banks that we bailed out. In the case of AIB, still owned by the state, although the government plans to sell it off this summer. They still own vast amounts of property. All of this could be done. The League of Credit Unions have offered €5 billion repeatedly for the last 3 years to the government at very, very low interest to build social housing. The government refused to take it off them. Right? So the money is there. The government doesn't want to build council housing. It doesn't want to impose rent controls. It doesn't want to solve the housing crisis because that would be bad for the property speculators. So that is the issue that confronts us. And as has been said by Samantha, when you're faced with that, The only thing you can do is build a movement of people power and popular resistance to fight for the basic right to a roof over people's head. Now that is not an easy thing to do, but it is the only thing to do. It is the only way this problem will be resolved. Trying to appeal to the better conscience of these people is a total waste of time. So it has to be about mobilisation, or we will all be affected sooner or later by this crisis. So I would just appeal to people to get active now on it, for the sake of everybody else who is currently affected, and for the sake of yourself and your children, because it's coming to your door soon if we don't do something about it.